Hi, I'm Lee Pickens with Super-Sod. Each year, we hand-pick the best tall fescue varieties for the Southeast, creating our own special blend for planting new lawns and overseeding existing ones. This blend of 3 first-quality tall fescue varieties is specifically chosen for its dark green color, disease resistance, and drought and wear tolerance. Today, we're going to be looking at the necessary steps for successfully planting a new tall fescue lawn. First step in preparing our site for planting our new lawn will be to eliminate any of the existing vegetation that we have. One of the best ways to do this is by spraying the area with a concentrated weed killer containing glyphosate, something like Roundup. And you want to make sure that you do this about 2 weeks prior to seeding to give the glyphosate plenty of time to act on the existing vegetation. And remember, safety always comes first, so make sure that you've got the proper protective eyewear and gloves necessary when handling any chemicals. As you can tell, it's been about 2 weeks since we sprayed our concentrated glyphosate to kill out all of the existing vegetation. And now we're actually going to use a tiller to remove this vegetation from the site. After we finish tilling the site, you'll want to look around and see if there's any sticks, stones, or other debris that have been left behind. You'll also want to try and use a rake to examine for any low spots, depressions, or possibly even high spots. This will help with the irrigation and the water flow throughout the seed bed as you prepare. Now that we've removed all of the existing vegetation that we had, along with any sticks or stones that may have been left behind, we're going to add an organic humus compost known as Soil Cube. Soil Cube will actually add beneficial bacteria and nutrients to the soil, which will help promote a healthier and stronger fescue lawn. And one thing you'll want to have done before you actually get to this point is to have a soil test run on your actual soil. A soil test will help identify whether or not you need any additional amendments added to the soil to help prepare the best seed bed possible. You may find that you actually don't need anything. However, when testing our site, we found that we actually needed to add 50 pounds of lime per 1,000 square feet, and in addition, a 5-10-15 starter fertilizer. So that's what we're going to do. After we've incorporated all of our Soil Cube compost in addition to our fertilizer and lime into the soil and then raked out any of the dead vegetation that was left behind, now we're ready to actually plant our seed. Today we're actually going to be using a handheld spreader to plant our tall fescue seed, and I believe that that will help you control exactly where and how much seed you're actually putting out. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your spreader is calibrated correctly, which just means that you've got it set properly. Different spreaders have different types of calibration, so you'll just want to follow the instructions for your particular spreader and use that correctly. Now, we really suggest and prefer that you take about half of the seed and walk in a north-south pattern, and then take the remaining half of the seed and crisscross that area in an east-west pattern to make sure that you have adequate and complete coverage over the entire seedbed area. Now that we've scattered our tall fescue seed throughout the seedbed area, we want to make sure that we have good seed contact. Now, you may have actually heard that spreading wheat straw lightly over your tall fescue seed is one option for making sure that your seed are covered. We would actually advise against that. Remember, we only sell blue tag certified Tall Fescue seed, which is 100% weed-free, as is our soil cube compost. Anytime you introduce another element, such as wheat straw, into the area, it's possible that you'll introduce foreign weed seed into the site, and we really want to refrain from doing that if at all possible. Now, to make sure again that we have good soil contact with our seed, there's really a couple of options that you could use. One would be to just lightly rake back over the area. When you do that, the seed will wind up just slightly under the surface. You don't want to plant them too deep, about 1/4 inch as far as you want to go. That's one option. Another option, a soil compost spreader like we have here. Now this is really the best option, because by doing this we'll accomplish two things. When we roll back over the entire area, we'll actually press the seed lightly into the soil, making sure that we've got good contact. And then by adding another light layer of compost, the seed will then be just under the soil surface and therefore be prepared for proper germination. Okay, we're down to just the last few steps of planting our new Tall Fescue lawn. And one of these steps involves using a roller to eliminate any air pockets that you may have or to smooth out any uneven areas that may have been left lingering behind. And the final step will be to make sure that you're prepared to water. We've said this in all of our other videos, but I don't think we can stress it enough. One of the most essential ingredients for establishing your new Tall Fescue lawn from seed will be to make sure that you have the proper amount of water. You want to make sure that you're set up to water immediately after you've planted your seed, and then you'll want to keep that area moist until germination occurs. Once the seedlings start to appear, you can gradually start to cut back on your watering, still supplying roughly 1 to 2 inches of water per week. After the proper amount of time, right amount of water, proper amount of care and maintenance, you'll have that new Tall Fescue lawn that you were looking for. Once again, thanks for watching, and for other helpful hints and tips on how to establish your new Tall Fescue lawn as well as maintaining it, please visit our website at www.supersod.com.